HD-2D has become one of my favorite visual styles in modern gaming. There's just something special about the way that it blends pixel art, dynamic lighting, and these miniature diorama environments to create worlds that feel both nostalgic and brand new at the same time. And so far, every HD-2D release feels like an event, a celebration of classic JRPG design brought to life with modern artistry. And with so many great ones out on consoles now, it feels like the perfect time to finally sit down and rank them. So yes, in today's video, we are ranking HD-2D games, and I am so in love with this style. I can't wait to talk more about these games. So before we get to that, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below. Where would you rank these games? And just as a heads up, I know there's going to be more HD-2D games coming out over the years, so I'm sure I'll probably update this video over time. But for now, let's get to what we have, what we're working with for consoles. And let's start with the first one, which is, I'm including it dead last because it's not quite an HD-2D game, but I can't talk about HD-2D without mentioning this one. Let's start at number 7 with Star Ocean: The Second Story R. Now, this game is one of the most visually striking remakes Square Enix has put out to date. And while it's officially not branded as HD-2D, it is undeniably aligned with that modern pixel meets 3D aesthetic. So because of this, I have to put it dead last, even though I wish I could put it a little bit higher, but because it's HD-2D adjacent, hey, I've got to include it anyway. Character sprites are beautiful and colorful, the environments look super detailed with this beautiful miniature set vibe, and the lighting is super rich and elegant. It captures this beautiful diorama feel that fans of HD-2D are going to instantly recognize. Now, the biggest difference is that Star Ocean leans more so into sci-fi stylings, open environments, and action-heavy battle systems. It's glowing, it's vibrant, it's gorgeous, but it's not the same visual rulebook as a lot of the other ones you'll see on the list today. In a way, it feels like a cousin. It belongs with the family reunion, but it's not technically part of the same direct bloodline. Now, as an HD 2D adjacent kind of remake, it is absolutely worth playing. The presentation beautifully complements the already great story and the characters, and it was one that I couldn't put down when it first came out, and it was the first time I ever played a Star Ocean game as well. It was a really special experience that I still often think of now, even a couple years later. Great game, definitely recommend playing it if you haven't already. Number 6, Octopath Traveler. Now, this is the game that started it all. When it launched, it felt like a revelation. The soft lighting, the exaggerated bloom, blur, and the layered environments created something that we had truly never seen before. A real modern reimagining of what these old school JRPGs felt like. And it instantly became a modern JRPG landmark and was single-handedly responsible for kicking off this whole HD 2D movement. There's no denying the impact that it had, visually, musically, and as a statement piece from Square Enix. But going back to it now, you can definitely feel that the style was being refined. Yes, the bloom is very heavy, the blur can be distracting, and some scenes are so stylized that it just becomes harder to see than it really should be. It's stunning, yes, but also experimental, and that experimentation shows in ways that later HD 2D titles would smooth out. And the disconnected character stories also create some uneven momentum, with some amazing arcs and others that don't hit as hard. Where Octopath Traveler does shine is the combat, the battle system, the soaring soundtrack. All that stuff holds up beautifully. But compared to the more cohesive, polished HD 2D titles that came later, Octopath Traveler 1's rough edges are a little bit more noticeable, and it lands at number 6 here, not because it's weak, but because everything that I'm going to mention here coming took that formula and refined it into something a lot more smooth, a lot stronger, and a lot more emotionally consistent. It's a great game and is definitely one of the must-play JRPGs if you're a fan of the genre. Number 5, Live Alive, Live Alive, however you say it. It's one of the most charming and inventive games ever turned into an HD 2D project, and it's a remake that absolutely justifies the entire concept. Each chapter has its own art direction, musical tone, and overall sense of identity. You have the neon sci-fi glow of the future chapter, the sepia warmth of the Wild West, and the moody shadows of Edo, Japan. HD 2D allows each time period to feel like its own little world, and that variety is one of the game's greatest strengths. And the structure itself is intentionally experimental. Some chapters are punchy and action-packed, while others are a little bit slow, quiet character pieces, or maybe even clever gameplay twists. That diversity is exactly why so many people, including me, adore this game. But it also means that the experience can feel a little bit uneven depending on what stories resonate most with you. It's a game that swings big in many directions, and part of its appeal is that it doesn't try to be a uniform experience. Now, Live Alive lands here because, despite being one of the most unique HD 2D titles and one of my personal favorites, the remaining games surpass it in terms of cohesion and impact and how they fully explore the possibilities of HD 2D style. But make no mistake, this is one of the most joyful and creative and refreshingly structured JRPG experiences out there, and a wonderful remake that nobody was expecting to have out. And definitely HD-2D elevates it to something that's truly timeless and worth playing even now. Number 4, Dragon Quest III HD-2D. Now, this is an incredible achievement, a loving, polished, and downright stunning transformation of one of the most important RPGs ever made. The world map looks like a glowing storybook came to life, the lighting gives every location a distinct personality, and the day-night cycle adds a beautiful sense of movement and atmosphere. It's a masterclass in blending nostalgia with modern presentation. And the charm of this remake comes from a way that it preserves the soul of the original game while enriching it with thoughtful quality-of-life updates and subtle visual storytelling. You can feel the craftsmanship in every scene, from like the cozy lit lantern towns to shimmering spell effects, and the class system as well remains as deep and as flexible as ever. And the sense of adventure is wonderfully intact here, and it's the kind of remake that respects the source material while still elevating it. Dragon Quest III HD-2D is beautifully polished. It's a confident game. It's well executed, but its narrative just didn't quite reach the same dramatic peaks as the top entries on the list. It's still absolutely one of the strongest HD-2D titles available, just not the one that resonated with me the most. But if you're looking to kick off your Dragon Quest experience, this would be the game that I would recommend trying because, canonically, this is the one that comes first. By the way, if you're enjoying the list so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because almost 90% of the people that watch my channel on the regular are not subscribed. So if you want to keep in touch with every single video I release each week, like more top 10s, rankings, lists, retrospectives, reviews, all that good stuff, I would love to have you here. Otherwise, if you want more content in the regular, I would love to have you over on my Instagram page where I'm posting daily JRPG related content as well. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Another great HD-2D title. Number 3, Octopath Traveler 2. This feels like a true fulfillment of everything the first game set out to do. Visually, it's a step up, the lighting is cleaner, the environments are richer, the color grading feels a little bit more natural and inviting, and of course there's so many other mechanics that add depth to the exploration. The music is so good, and the world just feels a little bit more cohesive in a way that the first game never quite could reach. The storytelling is where the biggest improvement happens, in my opinion. The character arcs feel a little bit more connected, party feels like it has a little bit more genuine chemistry, and overall the pacing is just a lot more smooth. Combat is so good. I love the abilities that your characters have, and overall the battles have a little bit more weight and strategic flexibility to them. Everything here just feels like a more mature, more confident, and unified version of the Octopath Traveler vibe. This one comes in at number 3 for me because I liked a lot of the story stuff, but it was just so hard, honestly. And I know this is part of the old school charm, and this is what HD-2D is all about, especially for Octopath Traveler. But man, these games are really punishing. So if you want a game that's beautiful but super grindy, this is going to be it. Number 2 for me is Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD-2D Remake. Now, I know it's a bit of a two-for pairing, but, considering it was one release, I've got to include it as one game. But I will say, this really surprised me in the best possible way. If you've watched both of my reviews in the last few weeks, honestly, I can't speak highly enough of these games. These games are just, originally extremely simple, basic structures, basic stories, early era design, but this HD-2D presentation elevated them into something genuinely magical. The lighting, the cozy little towns, the orchestration, and the refined pacing all work together to make these classics so much more emotionally resonant, especially the second game. Dragon Quest II in particular benefits enormously from the new presentation. The world feels more alive, the character interactions lay in harder, the emotional beats, especially the more dark and dramatic moments, have a newfound weight, and the visual storytelling adds so much without changing the core of the game. It's still Dragon Quest for sure, but it's just presented in the most charming, endearing way possible. And these games land at number 2 because they genuinely surprised me. Yes, they're not nearly as big or complex as some of the titles above or below, but they just delivered like this emotional punch that I wasn't expecting. They reminded me of why Dragon Quest is so special, and how HD-2D can take even the simplest of RPGs and make them feel warm, nostalgic, and meaningful. They might be small, but honestly, my reaction to these two games, especially number 2, is going to be something I'm going to be thinking about for a long time. Number 1, Triangle Strategy. This is everything I love about HD-2D taken to the highest form. It's one of the most thoughtfully written HD-2D titles and one of the best tactical experiences, honestly, I've ever played. And aside from that, this game is gorgeous. Characters are beautifully created, visually stunning. The environments have this diorama-esque vibe to them like Final Fantasy Tactics does, but it's just like a more elevated version of that. And the characters are mature, layered, and believable. And the branching paths here ensure that no two playthrough is going to feel the same. This is a game that I played through twice, and I rarely ever do that because I was so determined to get the best ending and have the best story payoff. And the gameplay is super rich, it's tactical, it's rewarding, and it's wonderfully balanced. Elevation, terrain, and abilities and positioning all matter, and every battle feels like a carefully crafted puzzle. Triangle Strategy isn't just one of the best HD-2D games for me. It's one of my favorite modern JRPG experiences, period. For its story, its atmosphere, and its mature use of the HD-2D aesthetic, easily is going to earn the #1 spot for me. And it's a game I haven't stopped thinking about, even though I finished it almost like however many years ago now. It was an amazing experience, and one that, if you haven't played, I can't recommend it enough. So that's my list, and I am sticking to it for now until, the list grows with entries, and I cannot wait for it. There's so many great HD-2D games teed up for like the next even just couple of months worth of releases, and it's just a great time to be a JRPG fan, and a JRPG fan that enjoys this visual aesthetic. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff, and otherwise we'll see you again on another video next week. Bye bye.